I'd like to take this opportunity to thank AfA for organizing this wonderful conference with such a lovely audience. And I'm so happy to be part of it as one of the speakers. The topic of my presentation today is seeding compassion in children today for a humane India of tomorrow. The focus of my talk is about why I think India is so ready for a takeoff in the area of animal welfare through humane education. We've been in the area of humane education for a while, and all the pointers that are there in India shows that we are just right there. It seems like the jigsaw puzzle has just fallen in place. Yeah. So like I said here, India is absolutely ready for humane education now. So I'd like to start with this testimonial that we had. It was my full circle moment when about a year ago I happened to meet a person from an organization in India. It was at a conference, and she was telling me how she got influenced by some of the contents that we had contributed to the education board. Let me just play it out for you.
Hello everybody, my name is Deeksha Agarwal. I'm a practicing advocate in Supreme Court of India. I also work with FIAPO, Federation of Indian Animal Protection Organizations. It is an apex body for animal welfare. One thing which I have learned and developed over the years is that teaching children kindness, to love and show kindness towards all living beings, makes them responsible and conscientious citizens for tomorrow. For me, animal welfare advocacy is a part of my very being. Besides my parents, who had actually inculcated me with the lessons of having compassion towards animals, the factor that influenced me the most was Straw India's empathy lessons, which were there in the curriculum of CBSE while I was studying. Teaching people respect for other living beings can never go wasted. In fact, it decides how much respect they themselves deserve.
Yeah, so this is Deeksha Agarwal, who we had met, and it made my day complete, or for that matter, all that I have put into humane education, because when we started, it was really, really tough. But when I met her, and it really felt good that at least one person has got influenced, because in the area of work we do, the results show out much later, actually. Okay, as you all know that India is a land of ahimsa, where, Mahatma Gandhi, how he promoted it. And ahimsa is universal compassion. And it's a principle of respect and non-violence to all forms of life. That's what it means. And it is as old as the time when Jainism and Buddhism came into India, way back in the 6th century BC. And it is also a place where India is, where the animals are worshipped in this place. It is, I think I'm going slow. Yeah. So India is, they are worshipped. So we have seen there are elephants worshipped and monkeys and cows. These kind of things we see all the time. If we take a morning walk, we get to see all these animals being worshipped at one point in time or the other during the year. But what is most surprising is even small little creatures like ants and rats are also worshipped. I've seen people walking across in parks, they will be putting some wheat flour all over the place for ants to eat. So that's India. And this is another very interesting slide, actually, where the countries are, which of the countries is has the largest number of vegetarians, and it is India. It's way ahead of other people, other countries. 31 to 42% of the people are vegetarians, which is really great. And when you actually look at the fact that India is the largest populated country in the world now, so now if you look at it in numbers, the number is really huge. So it therefore seems that it is a land of universal compassion and kindness, which really, it seems that it really is there. And animals, being kind to animals comes easy, and it can become a way of life. But let's see what the reality is. So I think this speaks a lot, this particular picture here. And all the other things that are there, like, all the other things mentioned here also happens every now and then when we get to hear about them. Coming to this picture where this person is throwing a puppy from a second floor of a building, this person and his friend decided to do this. As we got to learn, he said that he did it just for fun. And his friend was videographing it, and they put it up on Facebook, and it went viral. And fortunately, they were caught. They were by the police, and the police had actually jailed them. But unfortunately, the laws in India are not so great, so they were there for a very short time, and they came out of the jail with just payment of 10,000 rupees, which is about $125 US. But we also got to learn from the media that this person, the dog was rescued, the dog was adopted, and these people, both he and his friend, were suspended from the university, so which was a good thing. But we have not been able to find out more beyond that, what happened to these two people. So India actually faces a paradox. Worshipping of animals is one thing, and caring for them is another. When we study in school, we are taught about animals. Like, for example, cow gives milk, and it gives meat, and it gives hide. So it's a very useful animal. But we are never taught that it is how we have to care for the animal, which makes it, therefore there's a dichotomy. People will worship an animal in the morning. For example, these elephants, during festival time, especially in the city, in the state of Kerala, there are temple elephants. People go there to the temple to worship the elephant, and they'll worship them in the morning, but they don't realize that the problem the elephant is facing by standing there for such a long time, and when actually the elephant is swaying its trunk, they think that actually the animal is enjoying the music. It's as vague as that. They're not able to correlate worship with caring. So this is where our programs come into place, because our programs are called Compassionate Classroom. It inspires school children to be kind to all living beings and respect for the environment. So our programs, they are also, our stories also include birds, and the children would discuss matters and make bird feeders. When we do a program on birds, for example, which are, let's say, to give them freedom, we actually talk about through the medium of stories. Then after that, we also get into discussing it. And then we also do a hands-on activity so that the children get engaged. They kind of relate to the whole thing very much more. So they will do something like a bird feeder made out of plastic bottles. So that way they're also taught like not to be throwing plastic bottles around. And at the same time, they use these plastic bottles to hang it in their schools, fill it up and take care of it, where the thing is filled with grains, and it is monitored and it is maintained. So the children actually become more compassionate at the one end, and they also become very responsible kids. So no matter what the topic is in the classroom, our sessions invariably end up with a capsule on dogs and cats, because these animals are the ones who are the closest to us. We see them every day and night. So this is one of my favorite slides, though. It shows how when we started to what happened and how things are so different in India now. So when we started in 2008, Okay, I like to go back to the time when we just started, and I like to go back to the time when I did my first humane education session, and it was in the classroom of my son, whose teacher was kind enough to oblige. She said, okay. After a lot of refusals, she obliged to come and give me an okay. So when we did our first session there, and we said, okay, fine, I think we finally hit it. And then we went and knocked on other doors, but unfortunately it was not as easy because there was nobody there who realized what humane education was, and it was really tough. We wrote to many schools. We did it through snail mail, through telephone calls, and through emails when emails started coming, but there was a big X mark. Nothing really worked. But 2018 onwards, things really changed. And during COVID time, I think that was the time when things really changed. Everything went online, and we also went online to match up with that. And then we found that there was success because there were schools were looking out for such programs because they wanted more and more online programs. So this was really very, very good. We did a whole lot of programs, and we started getting, our phones started ringing, emails started coming in, said, please come to our school and do the program. So this was where the change really happened. The youth powers are in schools nowadays. One of the things that happening in school is that schools are looking out for all-round development of a child, and empathy has become an important part of it. So, which is a very good thing from our point of view. So there are many student groups in the school itself, headed by one teacher who possibly is an animal lover herself. So she kind of encourages children, and they form a group and they do a project which is actually accounted for their final marks, and they want to do a project on animal welfare, which is a very good thing. So they connect with organizations like ours and many others like us, and then they do a program where they do awareness creation and raise awareness among their other students in the school. They also take care of some of the animals around the school, so which is a very good thing. Like, for example, this team here is called Team Bezuban. It's from a school called Amity in New Delhi. Bezuban in Hindi means voiceless. So it's such a lovely name, and they're doing a great job. Even in colleges, there is an organization called NSS, which is a National Service Scheme, which is actually run by the Government of India. And they have their motto is like, not me, but you. So they look at doing services for the community at large. So they are looking out for people like our organizations to tie up with and carry out programs. And when we go and introduce to them that we can do an animal welfare program for you, animal welfare awareness program for you, or else if they are doing a community, like taking care of animals around, then we tell them that we can help you do that. So then, we kind of tie up with them. So through the NSS, even colleges are getting actually awareness creation is happening to a large extent. Then another thing which is happening is very good is that celebrities in India are also endorsing and also picking up pets and many street dogs as well. Many people in India out here will be able to recognize these faces here. They're all top Bollywood stars and cricket stars, and they all have pets. And this is, and the demographics is very, very positive for us here. All the school-going children are, India has the largest adolescent population, and it has a largest education system. So the numbers, as I mentioned earlier, they are really, really large for carrying out humane education programs. So India is, like I said, India is absolutely prepared to impart humane education in India. And all the pieces of this jigsaw puzzle actually come together to take a leap forward. Like this, I just want to go through to summarize what I've been talking about. Like whole of India worships animals. They are, highest percentage of vegetarians are there. Then they have the largest adolescent population. Indian education system is one of the largest in the world, and we have a whole lot of animal welfare groups which have mushroomed. In fact, came across many new organizations here in this afternoon while having lunch. So that's really a positive step forward. Then animal welfare groups are mushroomed, like I said, and the schools and colleges have animal welfare groups, which was not the case. And then schools are inviting us to carry out programs. So I feel that what can be better than this? Even if 50% of the kids adopt at least a little bit of what we say, I feel that, we have a thing going forward. But we have one major problem. It is funding. Because, it's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, it doesn't give you a fruit tomorrow. It takes its own sweet time. It has to become a tree, and only then it fruits. And humane education is like that. It takes a long time. But yeah, we've been trying, and like I told you, it has kind of paid results, and we are looking forward to this. And so far, we have educated about 40,000 children across India, which we are happy about over the last, say, a decade, maybe over a decade or so. This is a slide which gives an idea of the footprints, like where we have been working in schools and in colleges. And the next slide is, these are testimonials which I've already played out one for you. I like to play out this little kid who's the smallest child in our group and who's been a regular attender of our programs, and he comes up with some great new ideas every time. He'll come up with something like, why are we making elephants stand in temples? Why don't we get a metallic elephant? Do I have the time to play this out, or shall I stop it? Can I?
Everyone, today I'll be sharing my experiences with straw. First, I learned how to take care of animals. By number 1, adopting strays and making them feel comfortable. Number 2, temporarily adopting injured animals and making them feel okay. I also had a lot of fun in the quizzes, and I think that part I love the most. I learned a lot about animals, and we also celebrated a lot of important days about animals. It was really nice learning from Vasanthi auntie and Ipsita auntie and straw. Thank you.
Okay, this is another child. It's a little grown-up child.
My name is Aida Imran. I'm in class 4 and I'm from Kashmir. In this video, I'm going to share my experiences with straw. I think straw is an awesome organization. I have gone through many workshops and even storytelling. I felt that their workshops are quite different from others, as in their workshops they include fun quizzes, and this also helped me to increase my knowledge in animals. After attending these workshops, I was fully changed. I used to take care of every animal around me. I used to give water to thirsty birds. Through straw, I learned that it's important to look after every animal around you. I hope from now onwards, you look after every animal around you. Thank you.
That's it from me. Thank you. Any questions?
So we will now open the Q&A session for Madam Vasanthi Kumar. Are there any questions? So there seems like there is no question for Madam Vasanthi, so thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Do you need the mic? Okay.
I would like to ask a very controversial question because I witnessed this talk on like animal sacrifice, especially for AfA, which made me become a vegan.
Okay.
So I did try to free a cow, and then what do you think about, because I realized that when I went to Bali, he do also sacrifice a cow. So what do you think about instilling compassion, and what is the future of animal sacrifice? We still practice, in 21st century.
I think there are many organizations fighting for this all over the world for putting an end to animal sacrifice. In India also, I think I may not be wrong, it's illegal to be sacrificing an animal, though it's carried out all throughout. Yeah, it is carried out in many of the temples as well. For black magic and other purposes. It is carrying on. I think it's a long fight and we have to continue fighting.
But I think it is very illogical and very inhumane.
Yes, of course.
21st century.
Of course, yeah, exactly.
What worries me is that they are like educated people who are professors and professionals who are still supporting the animal sacrifice.
Yes. Yeah, it is happening quite a bit, and we have to continue fighting for it. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so thank you for Madam Vasanthi. So we will now move on to the next session.
Okay, thank you so much.